Welcome to Big Energy. I'm your host, Kassi Underwood, here to give you a dose of that good energy and talk with people who do it best. Each week, I bring you the knowledge we need to be the forces of nature we came here to be. Hi, friends. Welcome back to another week of Big Energy. Whenever one of my clients is struggling with something, no matter what it is, I ask the same question. And I wanted to devote this podcast episode to equipping you with this question because it's really life-changing once you know how to apply it. The question is, what's the fear? In my experience as a Harvard meditation advisor, as well as a counselor, coach, and friend, it's my observation that fear is usually the root cause of whatever's troubling us. Making friends with fear changes everything. I've seen it save marriages, quadruple incomes, lead to creative explosions resulting in published books and art shows, transform parenting, relieve pain caused by cancer, and guide maverick women on international adventures they previously written off as impossible. When we name and neutralize our fears, life really just feels different. So I'm going to give you an example of how to neutralize your fears so that you know the level of specificity I'm talking about. I want you to first of all think of an area of life that's annoying you, driving you crazy, making you feel hopeless or stuck. So just think of that area of life. Could be your relationship, could be your work, business, your friendship, could be your mom, finding a new job, landing a new client. Maybe someone on your team is making mistakes or creating chaos. Maybe you're worried about selling your book manuscript to a publisher or a romantic relationship. So once you've decided, I want you to get a pen and paper out. So this is not something to do in your head. I think that that's the difference between so much of what people think is the work versus what's really doing the work is actually pen and paper. It makes all the difference. It's not just kind of like talking through something to a therapist or, talking to a friend and identifying something. The work is quite meticulous when we get down to it. And once we do that level of work, that's when the transformation happens. So I really want you to get that pen and paper out. And maybe if you're driving right now or if you're on a walk, just have the intention to do this when you get home. And this is a short episode, so it'll be really easy for you to just come back, listen, and follow the directions. So if you chose, for example, a fear around selling your book manuscript to a publisher, you'll write that at the top of the page. So write your fear at the top of the page, selling my book manuscript to a publisher. Now under that, I want you to write down all of the fears about the situation. So here will be some examples. None of the editors at the publishing company will get my manuscript. That's a fear. None of the publishing companies will be interested. That's a fear. My advance won't be big enough and I'll have to have like 10 jobs while also finishing my book edits and I won't be able to handle the pressure. My agent isn't selling the book correctly. They're not saying what the editors need to know to make it really appealing. So all these are possible fears underneath the bigger fear, the bigger concern around selling the book manuscript to a publisher. The reason that you want to get all these down on paper is because, first of all, we often don't even have clarity that all those are under there. They're just like kind of complaints in our mind, or they're loosely floating concerns that we haven't even verbalized yet. So having them written down in an organized fashion just helps us to see what's going on inside of our minds that we weren't even aware of before. And then we get a chance to actually deal with them. And the reason that we truly want to deal with them instead of just ignoring them and powering ahead is that if we don't deal with our fears, we will subconsciously create the fear. Here is one of my favorite examples. Say you're texting someone that you're interested in romantically, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I think they might think I'm crazy. So you send them another text. You're like, okay, I'm going to fix it. I'm just going to send something else that'll prove I'm not crazy. And then you're like, oh God, what if I did something weird there? And then you send another text. Well, maybe they didn't think you were crazy before, but now they do. So whatever the case is, when we have a fear, if we do not deal with the fear, we will subconsciously create the fear. So it really behooves us to do that. It also just opens up totally new possibilities and the ability to take action in our lives when we address our fears. So you want to get that list going. Just knowing what they are, that'll create a lot of clarity. But if you want more support around completely releasing your fears, in my foundational course, Practical Spirituality, I guide you on a 21-day journey to release your fears. Practical Spirituality is the product of my life's work in neutralizing, releasing, and overcoming fear. It's the process I developed at Harvard and that I taught as a Harvard meditation advisor, and it's the process I currently teach to all of my clients. It's also currently on sale with payment plans that start at $59 a month, and it includes 3 live group coaching calls with me. It's going to be really fun to connect in a group around doing this work, and it's all videos. So you'll be able to watch the videos on your own time, and they're really short assignments. I know everyone's crazy busy these days, but I promise you, if you spend 20 minutes a day focusing on releasing your fear, you will find abundant more time available to you. So please check it out. It's kassiunderwood.com/practical spirituality. You'll receive 21 days of videos on how to think differently and really truly live in a whole new world. Often my clients who go through this course say they feel like a different person after just 2 days of being in the process. So please go ahead and grab Practical Spirituality. It's kassiunderwood.com/practical spirituality. Payment plans as low as $59 a month and 3 live bonus group coaching calls with me. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email office@kassiunderwood.com and check it out. Otherwise, just scroll down to the show notes and join us in Practical Spirituality. I'll see you guys next week.
That was another episode of Big Energy with me, your host, Kassi Underwood. Were you into it? Go ahead and click the subscribe button and leave a review. You can also find me online at kassiunderwood.com. See you next time.